question 769. Do you think you would have made a good sheriff in the Wild West?
Hell no. They would have been like, you have a vagina, get out. No. Plus, I hate guns and I can't see without glasses.
Yeah, all of us would have either been wives or whores. That was our choice. And I don't
that was it. Yep, that was it.
Yep.
Okay, we'll assume. Okay, for the content, just for this question, you're all guys, because otherwise the question doesn't work.
You couldn't have made the question that women were acceptable as sheriffs. We're just going to change everybody to men.
Yeah.
Because I think they'd argue with me.
We refuse to let you change our gender, Dave. Just
you really disappointed me there.
Parameters.
Hey, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Yes.
Yeah.
So sexist.
The problem you've got is I can't fit you into the context of the environment of the question without the flip.
Yeah, you can. You can say it was
I'm
acceptable.
halfway there anyways. I'm okay with it.
So you're agreeing, Dave?
Sure.
I think Beth would have made an awesome sheriff in the old
yeah, I think Beth would have made awesome sheriff.
Yeah, Beth would have kicked ass and taken names. Would have been fine.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah.
Maybe.
Was the Guardians of the Galaxy version kicked names and taken ass?
There you go. Joan says, yes, as a woman, and I would have been well known.
That's true. I mean, we do remember Calamity Jane, oddly.
Yep.
Not
Gary
oddly.
says, why not? Perhaps a female
I
sheriff
dressed
may
as
have
her
been
for
the
Halloween once.
That is so cool.
You picked the wrong night to ask this question, Dave.
I know.
What's the question? I missed it. Or something.
Do you think you would have made a good sheriff in the Wild West?
Well, yeah, because I'm fair, but I don't take any shit. So yeah.
To be honest, I don't think it would have mattered if you were a girl.
No.
I think it mattered whether or not you garnered the respect.
Well, and
agreed.
And I think you can get that. I don't think there was a problem getting that as female. I don't think that was that didn't tend to be the role. But
I think if you came out kicking ass and could shoot better than the guys, they wouldn't care if you were female or not. They just automatically be scared.
No, I think they'd be absolute twats to you.
Calamity Jane.
Yes. Well, this is it.
I would have made a really good madam, though.
I agree.
Oh, excuse me.
Can you imagine her in one of those dresses they used to wear?
If I'd have asked, do you think you would have made a good madam in the Wild West? I'd have been crucified. What?
I would look good in those dresses.
Yep.
Yes.
And
sure
you wouldn't let customers abuse the girls either. I can totally see that.
I would have 2 blades on me and a fucking tiny little derringer in my garters. Ready to go.
Nice.
I can see it now, Madam Manda.
Hell yeah! I kick ass at that shit. Now, a sheriff, not so much. No,
Not so much.
I don't think so.
Jeff says, I would have made a better outlaw. Well, he would have made a better outlaw. Harmonica Man says, I don't believe I would be a very good sheriff. Frustrated Atheist says, no, I would be corrupt as fuck.
Yeah,
It's honesty for you.
Good poor lady.
So why would the government then be any different than the government now?
Well,
Corruption started a long time ago. It's fine. You can still be a good sheriff.
corrupt law enforcement. You don't say.
I'm sure they'll fix that after the Wild West sometime.
I will say this in your defense, Dave. I will say this, that if there was a historical time before now when a woman could have successfully been a sheriff in America, it would have been in the Wild West. It wouldn't have been up in New England. That would not have been allowed. But in the Wild West, yeah, I can see a woman being able to break that barrier. There'd have to be circumstances, but that could happen. Because it was the Wild West for a reason.
Yeah. I find it funny how little time it lasted for. Really
well, they killed each other a lot.
That's true.
And there was, we didn't have antibiotics yet. It was all bad. It was a rough time.
It was the state of lawlessness. The whole point of the Wild West is that it was outside of the jurisdiction of the American government, so they could pretty much make up their own laws and do what they wanted. There's only so much time that could last for, you know. And eventually they were annexed into the United States anyway, so they had to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So.
Math Pig.
Yeah, I'm a wee bit up on myself, but I think I probably would. I'd get really good at pistol whipping.
That's kind of hot, actually.
You know, I wouldn't kill everybody, but it'd be nice to be able to smack them in the back of the head with a butt of your gun and they just pass out. Nobody can
They
say
did
nothing.
kill very easily. Like, you know, what was that show, Deadwood? The very beginning of Deadwood is, Timothy Oliphant is a sheriff, and he's leaving the town that he's a sheriff in, and this guy stole a horse, and he hangs him. Like, there's no trial, there's nothing. He just sticks them up on the rope, and that's it. He's like, get any last words? I'll take your boots to your sister. That's it. You're dead.
Yeah, the no trial bit sucks, but there was actually a good reason, sort of, for that stealing a horse being a capital offense back then, and it was because if you stole someone's horse and that was their only means of transportation, and they were out on the prairie somewhere, they could die. Yeah. So that's why it was a capital offense, because you were basically condemning somebody else to death when you did that.
Plus, there was a lot of people's, their major purchase. If you didn't have a house, either you had a house and a horse. Some people didn't have houses; they just had the horses. So.
No, and a horse. I mean, in a house you could build it. No, a house you could build yourself.
Yeah. It was
oh my god.
Grand Theft Auto of the day. So.
It was.
Really was.
Seriously, you've got the transportation, the hookers, everything. You're right. It's the Grand Theft Auto of the day.
Natty says, "I'd be like a white girl Django Unchained."
Cabin.
What was that be?
Pimp your cabin. Clean your cabin out.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
I'm cover my
covered couch.
logs and glitter. That's all. Fantastic. I don't know.
Dave, what about you?
He's gonna bedazzle her house.
Yeah.
I'd be fair.
Would you though?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced being fair was a requirement, but I think I'd be fair. I don't necessarily. I think I'd probably get myself shot.
Probably with your mouth. Fuck yeah, you would. And you would have to sample all the horse too. So But as a sheriff, that's probably right.
Is it? This is something I didn't know about the Wild West. Quick! I need a time machine.
There's also a lot of syphilis, and again, no antibiotics.
Yeah, I was gonna say those whores were really, really got around the block back then. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And by the way, people didn't bathe or clean themselves, so.
I thought they had giant barrel baths.
Moldy bread, that would work, right?
What?
I saw they had giant. I've seen documentaries. They had big barrels. They had baths in.
Yeah, once a month.
Yeah, because drinking water could be scarce.
So you mean I've got to increase the number of baths I have?
Well, already then.
God, Dave. That's an interesting little tidbit about Dave. He only takes a bath once every 2 months. You heard it
2
here
months.
first.
2 months.
Well, you said
Well, you didn't ask him how many times he takes a shower.
Yeah.
He
should, it's every day because he's always texting me pictures of him in the shower.
I gotta get to say what Natty says.
I'd be like to be jealous or think that I dodged the bullet on that one.
Right?
I can't breathe. Natty says, I'd be like white girl Django Unchained, but instead of fighting the race issues, I'd fight against female inequality.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
If you enjoyed that, please hit the thumbs up button. If you didn't, hit the thumbs down. If you think you've got a better answer or just want to tell us how wrong we are, leave a comment down below. Subscribe down here for new questions every day, and make sure you hit the bell so you don't miss out on our live shows. If you click over here, you'll see our latest upload. Over here, for what YouTube thinks you'll love the most. And finally, for a complete playlist of all our currently released questions, click here.